You are tired. Your mind is weary, your body aches, and your spirit feels the weight of endless struggle. The road ahead seems long, the obstacles insurmountable, and the voice within whispers, "Rest, stop, give up." But I tell you this, fatigue is not your enemy. It is not the signal of defeat, but rather the proving ground of your greatness. The moments when you feel most exhausted are the very moments that define who you are and what you are capable of achieving. Every great success in history was forged not in comfort, but in perseverance. The men and women who shaped the world, who built empires, who revolutionized thought, who broke barriers, they all faced exhaustion. They all knew the crushing weight of fatigue, but they did something extraordinary. They kept going, not because it was easy, but because they understood that the path to victory is paved with persistence. Consider this: the mind, when pressed to its limits, does not weaken, it expands. Every time you push beyond what you believe is possible, you stretch the boundaries of your potential. The fatigue you feel is not the end of your strength, it is the beginning of a new level of endurance. You are not breaking down, you are breaking through. Think of the farmer who toils under the sun, his hands calloused, his back bent, yet he sows the seeds with unwavering faith in the harvest. He does not stop because the work is hard. He continues because he knows that effort today yields abundance tomorrow. You, too, are planting seeds, seeds of effort, seeds of discipline, seeds of relentless determination, and though you may not yet see the fruits of your labor, they are coming. The world is filled with those who quit when the journey grows difficult. They reach the first sign of resistance and turn back, never knowing what glory lay just beyond their reach. But you are different. You understand that fatigue is not the enemy of success, but its companion. Every step forward, no matter how heavy, is a step closer to your destiny. There will be days when the fire within you flickers, when doubt creeps in, when the voice of reason tells you to surrender. But remember this: the greatest achievements are not reserved for the strongest or the smartest. They belong to those who refuse to quit. When others stop, you continue. When others rest, you push harder. When others accept defeat, you rise. Let your fatigue be a badge of honor, a sign that you are fighting, that you are alive, that you are in the arena where victories are earned.
The easy path leads only to mediocrity, but the path of struggle, the path where every muscle screams and every thought begs for respite. That is the path of champions. You are tired. Good. That means you are doing something worthwhile.
Now, keep going. You are tired. Your muscles ache. Your mind is clouded with fatigue, and every fiber of your being cries out for rest. The road before you stretches endlessly, and the weight of your struggles feels unbearable. You question whether you have the strength to take another step, whether the fight is still worth it. But I tell you now, with absolute certainty, this exhaustion is not your downfall. It is your proving ground. The greatest victories in life are not won in moments of ease, but in the relentless push against the limits of endurance. Every extraordinary achievement in history was birthed from struggle. The inventors, the pioneers, the leaders who changed the course of humanity, they did not succeed because they never grew weary. They triumphed because they refused to let fatigue dictate their fate. When their bodies begged for surrender, their will commanded them forward. They understood a fundamental truth. Exhaustion is not the absence of strength, but the test of it. You must realize that the mind, when stretched beyond its perceived limits, does not collapse, it evolves. Every time you press forward despite the crushing weight of fatigue, you are rewiring your very being. You are teaching yourself that pain is temporary, but quitting is permanent. The discomfort you feel is not a sign of weakness. It is the crucible in which true strength is forged. Consider the blacksmith shaping steel. The metal does not bend easily. It must endure the hammer's relentless blows, the searing heat of the forge. Yet, with each strike, it becomes stronger, more resilient, more capable of holding its form under pressure. You are that steel, Every challenge you face, every moment of exhaustion, is another strike of the hammer, another tempering of your spirit. Do not resent the struggle. Embrace it, for it is transforming you into something unbreakable. Think of the marathon runner whose legs burn with agony in the final miles. The crowd cheers, but the real battle is not against the other runners. It is against the voice inside that whispers, "Stop. You've done enough." Yet, when the runner pushes through, when they cross the finish line with nothing left to give, they discover a truth: the body's limits are illusions, the mind's power is infinite. You too are in your own marathon. The finish line may not be in sight, but every step forward is a victory over surrender. The world is filled with those who stop at the first sign of resistance. They mistake fatigue for failure, discomfort for defeat. But you are not like them. You understand that greatness is not handed out freely. It is earned through persistence. When others slow down, you accelerate. When others rest, you grind. When others accept mediocrity, you demand excellence. There will be nights when you collapse into bed, utterly spent, wondering if your efforts will ever bear fruit. There will be mornings when the weight of your goals feels too heavy to carry. But remember this: every drop of sweat, every sleepless hour, every ounce of effort is an investment in the person you are becoming. Success is not a single moment of glory. It is the sum of all the times you refused to quit. Let your exhaustion be a badge of honor. Let it remind you that you are alive, that you are fighting, that you are in the arena where dreams are either realized or abandoned. The easy path is crowded with regret, but the path of struggle, the path where every step is a battle, is where legends are made. You are tired, good. That means you are doing something meaningful. Now dig deeper. Find that reservoir of strength you didn't know you had. Keep going, not because it is easy, but because you were born to endure, to overcome, to rise. The world belongs to those who refuse to stay down. So rise. You stand today at the precipice of greatness, your body weary, your mind clouded with exhaustion, yet your spirit, that indomitable force within you, remains unconquered. This fatigue you feel is not your enemy, but rather the most powerful ally you could ever possess. It is the refining fire through which ordinary men and women are transformed into legends, the crucible in which mediocrity is burned away to reveal the gleaming steel of extraordinary achievement. Consider the oak tree that withstands 100 storms. Does it grow strong in calm weather? No. Its mighty roots dig deeper precisely when the winds howl fiercest. You are that oak. Every challenge that shakes you, every hardship that threatens to uproot you, is secretly making you stronger than you can possibly imagine. The fatigue you feel today is nothing more than the growing pains of your inevitable success. History's greatest triumphs were all born from moments exactly like the one you're experiencing now. The Wright brothers didn't conquer the skies on their first attempt. They endured failure after failure until their hands shook with exhaustion. Edison didn't invent the light bulb in a day. He worked until his eyes burned from lack of sleep, through thousands of unsuccessful experiments. What separated these giants from ordinary people? Not superior intellect or advantage, but simply the willingness to continue when every fiber of their being screamed to stop. Your mind is the most powerful tool ever created, capable of achievements beyond your wildest dreams. But like any powerful tool, it must be forged through struggle. When you push past exhaustion, you're not merely enduring, you're expanding the very boundaries of what's possible. Each step forward, no matter how small, is rewriting your destiny. The pain you feel today is the price you pay for the power you'll wield tomorrow. Look around you at nature's wisdom. The river doesn't stop when it encounters a rock. It flows around it, wears it down, carves canyons through sheer persistence. The eagle doesn't complain about headwinds, it uses them to soar higher. You are part of this same unstoppable natural order. Your fatigue is not a stop sign,
but a signpost pointing you toward greater strength.
The greatest lie ever told is that success belongs to the naturally gifted. The truth, the world is run by those who showed up when others quit. When the office emptied, they stayed. When the crowd went home, they practiced. While others slept, they worked. This is the secret they don't teach in schools. Exhaustion is the gateway to excellence. Every great empire, every revolutionary invention, every masterpiece of art or science was built on the foundation of tired hands refusing to surrender. The pyramids weren't built by fresh laborers, but by workers who pushed past their limits day after grueling day. The great novels weren't written in single inspired sessions, but through countless sleepless nights. Your dreams are no different. They demand the same price, and you're paying it right now. There will come a moment, perhaps it's come already, when you'll hear that voice whispering, "It's too hard, stop." That voice is your greatest opportunity, because every time you silence it with action, you become stronger. Every time you choose to continue, you're building the kind of character that shapes destinies. The people who change the world aren't those who never get tired, they're simply those who refuse to let fatigue decide their future. Let me tell you something profound. Your exhaustion is sacred. It's the evidence of your commitment, the physical manifestation of your dedication. While others take the easy path, you've chosen the road of warriors. Every ache in your muscles, every heavy eyelid, is a badge of honor that the mediocre will never earn. Remember this when the night seems longest. The mightiest oceans were carved by persistent drops of water. The grandest cathedrals were built one stone at a time. Your success is being constructed in exactly the same way through relentless, consistent effort, especially when every part of you wants to rest. The extra hour you put in when tired, the additional effort you muster when drained, these are the moments that separate champions from the crowd. You are participating in the oldest and most honorable tradition of human achievement, the triumph of will over weakness. Every culture throughout history has revered this quality above all others. The Spartans didn't value strength alone, but the ability to endure. The samurai prized perseverance as the highest virtue. You are part of this noble lineage, a modern warrior in the most important battle of all, the battle for your own potential. The fatigue you feel today is temporary, but the strength you're building is permanent. Like a muscle that must be torn to grow, you're being broken down only to emerge mightier than before. This process isn't pleasant, but it is necessary. The person you're becoming wouldn't be possible without these trials. So when the path seems impossible, remember, you are the descendant of survivors, the heir to generations of people who overcame impossible odds. Their strength flows in your veins. The same determination that built civilizations, crossed oceans, and reached for the stars lives within you today. Your exhaustion is merely the sign that you're tapping into reserves of power that most people never discover. Stand up straight, take a deep breath, and recognize this moment for what it truly is: not an obstacle, but an opportunity. An opportunity to prove to yourself what you're really made of. An opportunity to join the ranks of those who refuse to be ordinary. An opportunity to create a life that will inspire generations to come. The world needs what you have to give, even if you're too tired to see it right now. Your dreams matter, your struggle matters, your victory will matter even more. So keep going, not just for yourself, but for all those who will one day look at your life and say, if they could do it, so can I. This is your moment. This is your test. And I know beyond any doubt that you have everything it takes to prevail. The fatigue will pass, but what you become by pushing through it will last forever. Now dig deep, find that hidden reservoir of strength, and take the next step. The world is waiting for what you're about to achieve. You stand now in the sacred space between surrender and supremacy, where every great destiny is decided. This exhaustion wrapping around your limbs isn't chains holding you back, it's the cocoon from which your greatness will emerge. The very fatigue you curse today will become the foundation of your legend tomorrow. Consider the diamond, nature's most brilliant creation. It begins as common carbon, transformed only through unimaginable pressure and time. You are that diamond in formation. Every sleepless night, every aching muscle, every moment you continue when others would quit these, are the forces transforming your ordinary potential into extraordinary reality. History whispers its secrets to those who listen closely. Michelangelo didn't paint the Sistine Chapel, ceiling in comfort. He labored for years on his back, paint dripping into his eyes, neck permanently damaged from the strain. Beethoven composed his greatest symphonies as deafness closed in around him. Helen Keller didn't merely overcome blindness and deafness, she redefined what the human spirit could achieve, what made them different. They understood a profound truth. Fatigue is the tuition we pay for mastery. Your mind right now is a battlefield where empires are won or lost. On one side stands the voice of surrender, reasonable and soothing, offering rest and comfort. On the other stands your indomitable will, silent but powerful. This is the moment of decision that shapes lives. When you choose to continue despite exhaustion, you're not just taking another step, you're forging an ironclad identity as someone who cannot be stopped. The science of achievement reveals an astonishing truth. Our reserves of energy are far deeper than we imagine. Navy SEALs prove this in their Hell Week, where candidates go 5 days with less than 4 hours total sleep. What they discover, and what you must understand, is that the body's limits are illusions created by the mind. When you push past what you believe is your breaking point, you enter a realm of untapped potential where true transformation occurs. Look to nature's wisdom. The salmon doesn't complain about swimming upstream. It fights currents with every ounce of strength until it reaches its destiny. The caterpillar doesn't resist the struggle of metamorphosis. It understands the temporary discomfort creates wings. You are part of this same universal truth. Your struggle isn't proof that you should stop, its evidence you're exactly where you need to be. The most dangerous lie in our culture is that success should come easily. The ancient Greeks knew better. They worshipped Nike, goddess of victory, but always depicted her with Athena, goddess of wisdom and war. They understood that true victory comes only through struggle. Your exhaustion today is the price of admission to tomorrow's triumph. Every cell in your body is being rewritten by your perseverance. Recent studies in neuroplasticity prove that when we push through mental fatigue, we literally rewire our brains for greater resilience. The discomfort you feel, that's your old limitations being burned away to make room for new capabilities. You're not just working toward your goals, you're evolving into someone capable of achieving them. The world's most successful people share one common ritual. They've all developed the habit of working through exhaustion. K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter as a single mother on welfare, working in cafes after long days of menial jobs. Elon Musk slept on his factory floor during Tesla's darkest days. They weren't superhuman, they simply understood that extraordinary results demand extraordinary effort. There's a military concept called the second wind. When soldiers push past complete exhaustion, they discover hidden reserves of energy. This isn't metaphor but physiology. Your body has emergency reserves it only releases when absolutely necessary. You're approaching that threshold now, not to break you, but to show you how much more you're capable of. Your fatigue carries an important message. You're playing a bigger game than most dare to attempt. The average person never experiences this level of exhaustion because they never push themselves to this degree. Your weariness is proof you're operating at a different level entirely. Champions aren't those who never get tired, they're those who keep moving forward when everyone else would have stopped. Consider this. Every major religion and philosophical tradition reveres perseverance as the highest virtue. The Bible calls it patient endurance. Buddhists speak of right effort. Stoic philosophers taught that obstacles become the way. You're participating in this timeless human tradition, the alchemy of transforming struggle into strength. The Japanese concept of kaizen, continuous improvement, teaches that small daily efforts compound into massive results. Right now, in your exhaustion, you're accumulating these invisible gains. Each moment you continue is another deposit in the bank of your future success. The interest on these investments will astonish you. Neuroscience reveals an incredible truth. When we push through mental fatigue, we stimulate growth in the anterior midcingulate cortex, the brain region associated with willpower and resilience. Literally, by continuing when you want to quit, you're building a stronger, more disciplined mind. Your struggle isn't just productive, it's transformative. History's greatest innovators all faced this moment. Thomas Edison's lab burned down at 67, destroying years of work. Instead of retiring, he worked 16-hour days to rebuild. Colonel Sanders was rejected 9 times before finding a partner for KFC at age 65. Their secret: they understood that fatigue is temporary, but surrender is permanent. There's a powerful psychological principle at work here. The more we endure, the more we can endure. Like athletes who increase their stamina through training, you're expanding your capacity for achievement with every challenge you face. What feels like exhaustion today is actually your growing pain. The ancient Spartans had a saying, "The more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in battle." Your exhaustion now is that sweat, the necessary preparation for the victories ahead. Every ounce of effort you expend today is buying you future success at a steep discount. Quantum physics shows us that at the subatomic level, particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously. You stand at such a crossroads now, both exhausted and infinitely capable, both weary and unstoppable. Which reality manifests depends entirely on which version of yourself you choose to feed in this moment. Remember this when the night seems darkest. The Chinese bamboo tree shows no visible growth for 4 years while building its root system. Then, in the 5th year, it grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. Your efforts now may feel similarly invisible, but underground, your foundation is growing stronger every day. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, born a slave, taught that circumstances don't make the man, they reveal him. Your exhaustion isn't breaking you, it's revealing the champion you've always been. This struggle is your unveiling. There's a biochemical miracle happening in your body right now. As you push through fatigue, your brain releases BDNF brain, derived neurotrophic factor often called miracle. Grow for the brain. Literally, by persevering, you're making yourself smarter, more resilient, more capable. Your struggle is self-improvement in real time. The legendary coach Vince Lombardi understood this when he said, "Fatigue makes cowards of us all." But you're proving yourself no coward. With every step forward despite exhaustion, you're writing a new definition of who you are and what you're capable of achieving. Civilizations rise and fall on this simple principle. Those who can endure most achieve most. The Roman Empire built roads that still stand today because their engineers worked until the job was done, not until they were tired. You're building your own empire now, one act of perseverance at a time. Cognitive scientists have identified what they call the ovarian psyche, the phenomenon where people who push past exhaustion enter a state of heightened creativity and clarity. You may be closer to your breakthrough than you realize. The solution you seek often comes just beyond the point where most would have quit. Your fatigue carries an inverse gift. The clearer you see what truly matters. When exhausted, we shed superficial concerns and focus on essentials. This is why so many breakthroughs come during periods of intense effort. We gain clarity through struggle. Your weariness is sharpening your vision. The ancient Norse had a saying, out of every 10 men, 9 will be weeded out. They weren't talking about death, but about the winnowing process of life that separates those who will from those who won't. You're proving with every continued effort that you belong to the company of those who will. There's a powerful neurological phenomenon called post-exertional neurogenesis. The brain actually grows new neurons after periods of intense effort. You're not just working toward your goals, you're literally building a better brain to achieve them with. Your exhaustion is construction in progress. The Japanese concept of gammon means enduring the seemingly unbearable with patience and dignity. This isn't passive suffering, but active transformation. By practicing gammon in your exhaustion, you're joining a centuries-old tradition of quiet strength that builds character and destiny. Remember this when the weight feels heaviest. The Grand Canyon wasn't carved in a day, but by persistent flow over millennia. Your efforts now may seem insignificant, but their cumulative effect will be monumental. Greatness isn't a single act, but many small acts of courage repeated daily. You stand at the most important crossroads you'll ever face, not the choice between success and failure, but between who you are and who you're capable of becoming. Every moment you continue is another brick in the foundation of your future self. The fatigue will pass, but the strength you gain will remain forever. So take a deep breath, straighten your back, and take the next step. Not because it's easy, but because you're capable of far more than you've ever imagined. The world needs what you're becoming through this struggle. Now go forth, your destiny awaits. You are standing now in the forge of fate, where the fire of effort burns away weakness and tempers the steel of your spirit. This exhaustion you feel is not your enemy. It is the hammer shaping you into something greater. Every ache, every labored breath, every moment you push beyond what you thought possible is another strike of the blacksmith's tool, molding you into a masterpiece of resilience. Consider the ancient alchemists who sought to turn lead into gold. They understood that transformation requires heat, pressure, and time. You are the alchemist and the experiment both. Your fatigue is the fire in your crucible, and within it, the base elements of your potential are being transmuted into something rare and extraordinary. The process is not comfortable, but it is necessary. Gold does not emerge from ease. It is forged in the furnace. History's greatest minds and strongest souls all faced this same trial. Leonardo da Vinci worked until his fingers cramped, sketching and resketching, perfecting his visions through relentless effort. Marie Curie toiled in a frigid laboratory, her hands raw from handling radioactive materials, driven by a curiosity that refused to yield to fatigue. They did not achieve immortality because they were exempt from exhaustion. They achieved it because they refused to let exhaustion dictate their limits. You must understand this fundamental truth. Fatigue is the gateway to your next evolution. When your body screams for rest, your spirit is being given a choice. Retreat into comfort or advance into greatness. This is the moment where ordinary people turn back and where legends are born. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not talent, nor luck, nor favor. It is the decision to take one more step when every instinct begs you to stop. Science reveals an astonishing fact. When you push past physical exhaustion, your brain releases a surge of neurotransmitters that sharpen focus, heighten determination, and unlock hidden reserves of strength. This is not metaphor, it is biology. Your struggle is not in vain. It is activating primal forces within you, awakening capacities you did not know you possessed. The wall you hit is not the end. It is the signal that you are on the verge of a breakthrough. Think of the marathon runner at mile 20, when the body begins to consume itself for fuel. This is the wall, the point where the unprepared falter, but the disciplined dig deeper. What they discover is that beyond the wall lies a second wind, a reservoir of energy untapped by those who quit too soon. You are in your own marathon now. The wall is before you. Will you break, or will you break through? The world's most successful people share one common ritual. They have trained themselves to embrace discomfort as the price of mastery. They do not seek exhaustion, but they do not fear it. They understand that fatigue is the currency of achievement, and they pay it willingly. While others sleep, they work. While others rest, they grind. While others complain, they endure. And in time, the gap between them and the rest of the world grows so vast that it becomes unbridgeable. You are being tested, not by fate, not by some external judge, but by your own potential. It is asking you, how badly do you want this? Your fatigue is the answer taking shape. Every minute you endure, every obstacle you overcome, you are proving to yourself and to the world that you are made of more than ordinary stuff. There is a Japanese proverb, fall 7 times, stand up 8. This is the essence of perseverance. It does not matter how many times you stumble, how many times your body protests, how many times doubt whispers in your ear. What matters is that you rise again and again and again. So stand now in the fire. Let it burn away what is weak. Let it forge what is strong. The path ahead is difficult, but difficulty is the hallmark of all things worth achieving. You were not meant for ease. You were meant for excellence. And excellence demands everything you have. You have come too far to surrender now. Look behind you. See the battles you've already fought, the obstacles you've already overcome. Each step, each struggle, each moment you refused to quit has brought you to this pivotal hour. The fatigue you feel is not weakness. It is the final test before your triumph. Consider the mountaineer ascending Everest. The final push to the summit, it is the most grueling. The air thins, the body weakens, and every step is agony. Yet it is here, in these brutal final moments, that history is made. Those who reach the peak do not do so because they are free from exhaustion. They reach it because they make one more move when every muscle screams to stop. You are that climber now. The summit is in sight. Will you turn back when glory is so close? There is a sacred truth known only to those who push past their limits. The greatest rewards in life lie just beyond the point where most people quit. Your exhaustion is the veil separating you from the extraordinary. Tear through it. The world is watching, not with judgment, but with awe, for when a human being refuses to yield, when they stare fatigue in the face and laugh, they become something more than mortal. They join the ranks of those rare souls who shape destiny rather than bow to it. This is your moment to claim that power. Remember, trees grow strongest when faced with relentless winds. Diamonds form under crushing pressure. Legends are born in moments exactly like this one. Your struggle is not your shame. It is your signature, a mark proving you dared to do what others could not. So take a deep breath. Feel the fire in your lungs, the ache in your bones. These are not signs of impending defeat, but proof you are alive, fighting, evolving. The easy path has no glory. The comfortable life leaves no legacy. But you have chosen the road of warriors, and warriors do not retreat when victory is within grasp. One more step, then another, until suddenly you realize the weight has lifted. The sun breaks through. And you stand triumphant on heights you once thought unreachable. This is your destiny. Claim it.